out at a plot in southern Montana State University's Southern Ag Research Center, and we did some work with them on using different rates and some different tank mixes out in this field. So it's been nice to be able to have an untreated check and then different strips throughout the field that weren't sprayed, so you can kind of compare what the field would have looked like versus what some of the tank mixes that we're going to feel comfortable with recommending. I'm pleasantly surprised. There were some weeds that I had some concerns with. Just like anything else, timing is always tough. We were a little bit late in making this application, which was a little concerning at the beginning, being that the weed size was just a little beyond what I felt comfortable with. Prickly lettuce was the main one. That was the one we really wanted to see. We were really comfortable with kochia and Russian thistle on how that was going to work. But the one, I think, from a local standpoint that we wanted to see was how it was going to react with prickly lettuce. So as this crop was planted, there was not a pre-plant burn down done. So we were really concerned about the size of that prickly lettuce when it was sprayed. So as they were spraying it, I had put a couple flags on a few different weeds, especially prickly lettuce, and they were a little taller than I felt comfortable. But I'm happy to say that, as we look at some of these carcasses throughout the plot, just rot so fast that it's really tough to see. Now, a majority of the winter annuals, so a winter annual is something that's going to be germinating in the fall and then going to be growing not necessarily through the winter, but stay dormant and then come actively growing in the spring. So that's why these pre-plant burn downs and then making sure you have a solid tank mix in the spring is so important. That prickly lettuce, being a winter annual, germinated probably in August, September, October of last year, and then it continues to actively grow in the springtime, where kochia is going to germinate in the springtime, so it's going to be smaller size. That's why you'll see more prickly lettuce out here that's bigger, because it had a 6-month head start compared to a kochia plant, right? We sprayed the kochia at a perfect size, what we want to be spraying it at, 2 to 3 inches. And that's why I have a tough time finding dead ones, because they just rotted so fast, because a 3-inch kochia disintegrates fairly fast. Where I can find bigger prickly lettuce carcasses. Being able to have those carcasses and have a real powerful visual there on the level of activity you can have. There's different tank mixes we can use that turn prickly lettuce like this. But Tolvera, this was at least my largest concern entering the spring market, was how well is it going to work? What kind of tank mixes do we have to add to kill this weed? And after looking at it, we don't have to add much.